I'm not muted. I'm not there yet, so I
That's
haven't
fine.
muted it. Okay.
Yeah, just do it when you get there. All right, we are live. How you doing, folks? Welcome to another episode of Sunday Night Live. I am your host, Yakin with Sarah. Go ahead and introduce yourself there.
I am Kelly. I am the host of Blue Collar Fishing.
Blue collar fishing on YouTube, correct?
Yep. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook.
There you go. Sharing this on Facebook as we speak. Hopefully, it'll get approved on those groups. All right. Let me get our stuff up and the chat back up. I'll start doing the early bird shout outs. Brooks, how you doing? Kentucky Catman. Wow. I didn't get to watch the full stream today, Jim, but what a catch from K-Bug. That was phenomenal. Tiffany sent me a text and told me, I don't remember what it was exactly, but something along the lines of, "Did you see that catch?" And I went to see who was live, and I saw you were live, and wow, I'm really glad that she sent me that, especially being able to see that live. That was a monster catfish. Uh, Speaking of Tiffany, how you doing? She's in the chat. Johnny, how's it going? Uh, Anybody else? Jimmy, how you doing? All right. Gonna give everybody a couple of minutes to get in here. We have Blue Collar Fishing in here with me today. We're going to be talking about budget fishing. We're going to be talking about being a smaller YouTuber. Um, we're going to talk about fishing in general and all that good stuff. Get out the house, go fish. They just gave away a GoPro camera. How cool is that? Make sure you're subscribing to that channel because they have some amazing content and do all kinds of fun things with all kinds of different watercrafts. So they've got a little DIY John boat project, and they're on their kayaks all the time, and just a cool family to follow. Drop hook, how you guys doing? Randy and Darren, Gary, Mark, Marvin, Glenn, how is everybody doing tonight? That's awesome. Um, Tonight, like I said, we're going to be going over budget fishing. We're going to be going over a couple other things. I've got the Catch of the Week segment ready to go. I'll be going over numbers as of yesterday for the Trash Collectors Tournament. I'll pull that up right now and let y'all know exactly how long you have left, because unless you're going out there after the show, you're not going to stand a chance. Uh-oh, I see someone put in some numbers today. 2 hours and 22 minutes to the end of that tournament. 2 hours and 22 minutes. So I'll be tallying up those numbers tomorrow. I'll be going over the numbers as of yesterday during the show tonight. And out and about outdoors with Ron and friends. How are you two doing tonight? I'm outdoors with Ron is in the house. Good to see you. So I'm going to pull up my questions. I had general questions before the chat starts popping and everybody starts shooting off their own questions. Let me see if I was smart enough to screenshot those. Yes, I was. Okay. So we're going to start it off real simple. Why do you fish? Or do you want to save that for later?
That's fine.
Okay.
Well, it started out with my grandparents. Every summer we used to go like what's called car camping. I guess they had this. Thank you. They had this the old style camper on the back of an old F-100 truck that they had, and we would hit all these lakes throughout the summer, and that's just what my grandparents like to do. I've got the same sad story that a lot of other kids do. My biological father walked out on us when I was 18 months old, so my grandfather really stepped in, took over that role as the father figure, and that's what they like to do. They were retired, and we would go from basically Memorial Day to Labor Day. I never saw the house, and that was what we did. We'd go Watts Bar. I grew up in Tennessee, so we'd go Watts Bar and Hope's Lake and Center Hill and Cordell Hall and all those other places. And now I do it, I guess, in memorandum of them, something to do with my kids and camaraderie, recreation.
Very cool. Very cool. So how often, your kids are older now, but when they were younger, how often did you guys kind of follow through that tradition of going out and fishing and camping together?
Camping, not so much. You know, I'm a country boy through and through. I married a city girl though. But my kids will go. We have a put and take trout stock program around here. My kids will go. They did that when they were younger. The first time my oldest one went out, he actually got a little famous around here for it. His picture ended up in the paper, and that picture's had probably 2,000 comments or likes on it throughout social media for the past decade. So they will still go here and there. They Out and About Outdoors is a buddy of mine. He's taken them out a few times with me. So they still go, but you know, as they've gotten older, they're teenagers now. They're into their own things. Every now and then, I can still talk them into it, but.
All right. Randy, I just got your text, and that is completely okay. I've already told everybody that it's ending tonight. It actually is perfect because it gives me a full day to make sure all the numbers are correct. And I can announce the winner Tuesday night or tomorrow night. I'm not sure yet, whichever one I have time for. What are some safety tips that you have for fishing in your area?
Well, I mean, the same safety tips for anybody. If you're in a boat, you know, wear a PFD. At least follow all the safety rules and laws. I bank fish a lot. That's what I have access to, you know, especially when I'm not with a buddy. Both my buddies have boats, but I don't. So hopefully that comes pretty soon. But bank fishing, sun care. Sun care is kind of I think a safety tip now. I have a friend who's struggling with melanoma. He would tell you that. And insect repellent, DEET, things like that. Just be aware of your surroundings, I think, you know. And know your limitations, you know. If you don't think you can get back, it's probably not a good idea to go, you know.
Yep, exactly right. If you're able to travel in numbers, it's always better, in my opinion.
The buddy system.
Yep. If you're not, make sure everybody knows where you're at. Make sure you're able to access land quickly if you need to. All that good stuff. I always like to include the safety topic in the video because it's so important. There's so many people that either drown from carelessness, not having on their PFD, people that have heart attacks on the water, Jim, folks that, like you said, going too far in their kayak and they're not able to get back to where they started from, and a storm comes up, and it can be a scary thing. I know all of that from some experience. UV clothes have come a long ways. I wear them all the time, plus they make you look cool in your videos. Northwest Open season, I hear you. Yes, all those UV protective clothing have come quite a long way, and they do look super cool. Also carry radios, yes. So that's one thing. I've actually asked those folks that get out the house to go fish. They carry little cheap radios with them. And almost always he's out there with someone else. But I think that's pretty cool that anytime they do a hookup almost, they're on the radio saying, hey, hook something up. And if it happens to be something big, they could come over there and help you out. And if it's small, you know, bragging rights, right? So, K-Bug Clark is in the chat now. K-Bug, I need to congratulate you. I'm not sure if you heard me earlier, but that was an amazing catch earlier. I'm really glad that Tiffany got a hold of me when she did, because I was able to see the final images of it and get to watch the release of it. So that was super cool. So proud of you. That is awesome. That's amazing, Jake. So the Wyatt Life just said, I didn't give you a call today. Give me a call tomorrow evening or after the show is fine. But he did an 8-hour cleanup. I'm guessing he's trying to get to first place in the trash collectors tournament. I'll have those numbers, like I said, tomorrow. So yeah. Pull up my check questions again. You are a bank fisherman, correct? For the most part?
Most of the time, especially when I go by myself.
What recommendations do you have for others that are bank fishing?
Besides safety tips, you mean just fishing the bank?
Yep, fishing the banks. What are you looking for? Where are you going?
Anywhere you can find structure to pitch into. You know, structure. You know, fish are like us. They need somewhere to sleep, eat, different things. So find structure. A point, if you can find it. Points are really helpful. Gives you more of an area to fish off of. Access. And also you could start off making short casts. Because if you cast as far out as you can go and you catch something, if there were any fish there and at your feet, you done scared all them away.
Alex.
And watch realistic fishing.
There you go. Anybody wanting to bank fish, that is definitely a channel I would highly recommend. If you're not familiar with Alex's channel, starting from the beginning where all he used it was basically his go-to Texas rig, soft plastics, and it's amazing to see a channel progress. Watching him from the beginning to now, like the first time he used a crankbait, I think on his channel, he was finally able to catch something on that, and then he tried another bait out, and then he tried another bait out. It's really fun to watch that. So if you're not subscribed to Alex's channel, I'm sure most of you are. I highly recommend that for a bank fishing channel.
I actually used to live in the same town as him, so I fished some of those places he's fishing in.
That's cool. That's real cool. Let's see. Take along a walking stick, bring a buddy fish where others don't think to fish.
Yeah, I've caught some. That was from Ron. We've caught some fish in what you would think was a ditch. So.
I've seen people do that where there's just spill-offs on the side of the road, and you wouldn't think anything of it. It's just like a little bitty. It's not called a pond. It's just a little drain area, and they're pulling out 2-pound bass out of those areas. It's crazy. We do a lot of bank fishing here in canals. There's a canal system where they used to haul the coal and stuff out of here. That's cool. Do you recommend going to somewhere like a boat ramp that's made for fishing? I know we have one here that's got the lights under it at night to attract the bait fish. It's, most of the time it's crowded unless it's really hot. Do you recommend going to something like that? I recommend going anywhere you can go, really. I mean, if it's heavily pressured, try to find somewhere maybe that doesn't have so many people. Pressure. Any place that's pressured, the bite's going to be hard. But if that's the only place you can get into, yeah, sure, I recommend that. There you go. What's your favorite species to catch? The one that's biting. Do you generally go out to catch a specific fish, or do you take enough equipment with you so that you can change it up if you're not able to catch what you originally went out there for? I carry an array of equipment. So I'm a multi-species guy. Probably my favorite to fish for is bass. I like to fish for bass, and I think it's just growing up really poor, watching all these guys on TV, like the Bill Dances and the Jimmy Houstons of the world. Throwing stuff. I always thought that was the coolest looking thing, but I could never afford any of that stuff. So
now that I'm older and make my own money, you know, it's like, you know, I've arrived.
K-Bug wants to know what your favorite rod is.
My favorite rod? The one I can afford. But I think right now I use a lot of spinning gear. I mean, I have a baitcaster, but I use a lot of spinning gear. I do a lot of finesse fishing here. Right now, the one I'm throwing the most is a Mitchell Advent, which was on clearance at Cabela's the last time I was there. So it works pretty well. I take kids out, so I have, you know, Shakespeare stuff. You know, if you're taking kids out, you probably don't want to lose a $200 rod down the lake. So
yeah, that would be very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Along with finding something on clearance, the name of your channel is Blue Collar Fishing. So you do a lot of on the budget, wallet friendly fishing. Where are your go-to places to hit for those clearance fishing items? The best bang for the buck. Where do you go?
Walmart.
Anywhere else?
Yeah, I mean, there's a Cabela's is about an hour drive from here. So I'll check out their clearance. I'll check out their clearance section quite a bit. And not yet, but Cabela's not only beside, you know, just checking out their clearance section is Cabela's is like a day of entertainment. So that's a blue collar day to take the kids out. So there's Cabela's around here. Dick's Sporting Goods is a sporting goods store that we have in my area. We don't have Academy or anything like that. So you can check the clearance at Dick's Sporting Goods. Pretty much any sporting goods section is going to carry your more affordable combos or things like that.
Okay. Every now and again I'll go. I don't go into Walmart extremely often, but every now and again I'll go, and for that main reason, just to go see if their clearance, they have fishing clearance out there. And a lot of times you can find it for cheaper than what it's actually marked.
Yeah. A lot of times they have the dollar section. You can get plastics and stuff in the dollar clearance. And I say Walmart because everybody's got them. Not every small town in America has Dick's or Academy or Cabela's or Bass Pro. Everybody's got Walmart.
Yeah. Definitely. That's always true. And every Walmart's going to carry that fishing gear. Every now and again I'll go to Academy and I'll find something on their clearance. Most of the time I don't find the best deal. But every now and again I'll find just one or two things that'll catch my eye and think, you know, this is the right price. You know, the last time I went, the only thing I was able to find was like a $1 pack of sunscreen. That's a big thing of sunscreen for like $1. But and you can get toilet paper at Walmart too. That's right, you sure can. That is exactly right.
Necessity.
Yep.
Forgot to mention that on the safety tip.
There you go. What made you want to start a YouTube channel?
It was actually another channel. I don't know if too many people in here watch them, but there is a channel out there, a guy in upstate New York. When I first subscribed to him, he was Road Snake something, but now he's building Mike's Angling Adventures. And it's a father-son duo. And when I started my channel, I had realized that over the years, I have seen Mike grow up. I saw Mike go from being a junior high kid to graduating college, to his wedding, now, you know, fishing with his dad as a married man or whatever. And I thought it was a good way to archive some memories of my kids. You know, your kids grow up fast. So it was another way to archive some memories. And then that's what I originally started it for. And now, you know, my kids don't go as much now, but now it's a way to communicate and interact with like-minded people like yourself and the people who joined us tonight. And our other social media forums. It's camaraderie and something we have in common to communicate about.
Yeah, that's YouTube is a unique platform to share anything with, really. It allows folks to share their passions with other people that you might not be able to share it with in your own hometown. I know for me, I know there are other female anglers out there, but I don't know very many in my hometown personally, and I don't run into them very often. So for me, YouTube has been a way to branch out and find others that are interested in the same hobbies that I am, and even become friends with some of them, like Tiffany and Grab Life by the Fish, and Anthony Horton, and other folks out there, and several people in the chat I would consider myself friends with now.
Yeah, I am. I agree. Matter of fact, the guy I just saw join the chat, Lizard King Fishing. He's become we live on opposite sides of the country, and we talk 2 or 3 times a day, 2 or 3 times a week. So
it's really unique that the
internet, YouTube, social media has made the world a much smaller place.
That's right. I had someone on the show probably 2 months ago or more, but his name's Dexter. I'm not sure if you know his channel or not, but he's out of Malaysia, and
Dexter Tang.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I watch his channel.
he's probably one of the funnier guys that I did a practice call with. That's what I call it. He's looking at it and he's like, "You're so clear, but you're 12 hours away," or 12-hour time difference, And it was just really funny to sit there and talk to someone that's on the other side of the world, literally.
Yeah. Oh, well, we went through it back a couple of months ago, actually. My wife was in India for work, so she would call me, and it's like 6 o'clock in the afternoon, 6 o'clock in the morning there, 4 a.m. or whatever,
Yeah. Someone asked where Dexter is. Dexter, most of the time, he is either getting ready to go fishing at this time or just getting up. It's almost 9 a.m. his time. So, that's probably where he's at. Speaking of other YouTubers, I'm going to go ahead and do Catch of the Week.
All right.
So if you guys don't know what Catch of the Week is, it's where you guys send in your pictures through my email, Instagram, or Facebook. I feature you in the Sunday Night Live, and you get your own little show on Wednesdays. This week, I think we've got 12 folks in Catch of the Week. All those are Yakin with Sarah, Gmail, Facebook, and Instagram, spelled just like they are on YouTube. So I'm going to pop this up. Let's see here. There we go. Catch of the Week, where there's no fish too small, no wrong species. I just want to see you getting out there and catching fish. First up, we've got Jake from the Wyatt Life catching a red horse sucker. First he's ever caught, and I think the last he's ever caught as well. That is definitely a unique fish, not one I've ever caught. Then we've got Noah from Lake Erie with a perch. He is from Team Jesus Outdoors. Congrats, Noah. Then with the email, Fishing with Me, a 38-inch striper. Wow. That is awesome. You need to enter that into the tournament on Drop Hook. They've got a striper tournament going on. And then we've got his wife with a 10-pound carp. That is awesome. It's always great seeing couples going out there together. That's great. Next up on YouTube, Fishing with Big D. He was out actually doing a collaboration with another YouTuber, LNS Outdoors, when he caught this trout. I'm sorry, carp, not trout. Caught this carp. As always, the YouTubers that are listed are in the description below. Then we've got Molly. Just check that shirt out. It says it all. Whisker, Stix, fishing. Caught a bluegill before she goes and has her racing. She's due any day now. PGH BOttom Feeders went out to New Mexico to fish with Chris Flores. He had them in the tubes down the river and caught this big cat. That is awesome. I bet that was a fun trip. It had to be. From YouTube, Big Fish catching 3-striper, 36-inch, 24, and 27 inches of the 3. Congrats, Big Fish. That's great. Then we have Vince with a 3.5-pound speckled trout off the kayak, 20 inches long. That's great. Good job, Vince. That would have been a fun catch off the kayak. Another one from Team Jesus Outdoors. Another St. Clair Smalley. He is catching some hogs out there. That's awesome. We've got Danny Sizemore with a 12-pound cat. Had a great week. I think he sent me in some more numbers. I think he caught about 4 or 5 this week. So that's awesome, Danny. Keep sending them in. I really always appreciate your photos. Next up, Steven on the Ohio. Had several baits out there, but this one was caught on a shad head off the Ohio. And last but not least, my favorite part of the show, this is the kids. Ryder from the Wyatt Life. As always, they always send in a picture, and I love it every week. That family is just amazing. If you haven't checked out that channel, the Wyatt Life, he's actually going to be on the show next week, hopefully. Get you back in here and pull up the chat. Someone said carp. Thumbs down. Let's see. Yeah, this video actually got put together real quick this week. I've been super busy all week long, and yeah, it's just been crazy. Let's see. Keep kids fishing. That's right. I like that hashtag. That's usually we've got a couple more kids in the lineup. This week was slower. It might be because of the heat, but it's always fun to see all the kids' pictures. And I know next week I've got at least one kid picture because of K-Bug. So, let's see. It's awesome fish tonight. That's right. There you go, K-Bug. You're going to be on it next week. That's right. Alright. Back to my questions. The picture of Noah was from this morning. I'm quick. I'm quick. Most of the time. Sometimes it goes two weeks before I get someone's picture on there and they're like, hey, did you forget about me? I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I marked it as red and I forgot all about it. Yeah. What are some of your PBs?
My PB bass is 4.6. I caught that during a time when, you know, I had a scale in my tackle box, but not a camera in my pocket. I was a young teenager, and we caught that in a farm pond. The picture you're showing isn't my PB. That one's probably 3.5 or something like that. And I caught another 3-pounder this morning. But yeah, it's 4.6. It's not, you know, nothing to brag about, but it's actually a little pathetic because I actually grew up. The area of Tennessee I'm from is the lake that's nearest me has held the smallmouth world record since the 1950s, and you know my PB's 4.6 out of a farm pond. But that's my PB bass. My PB catfish is one I caught actually in Pennsylvania. Ironically enough, when Tennessee is known for its catfishing now, but Pennsylvania, it was around 17. I caught it on my buddy's boat out and about, who's in here tonight. And the bass you showed was also on his boat. That was last year, but that is around 17. That's, you know, like we were saying earlier, it's nowhere near yours. I think it's 35 now. Yeah. Some people never see a 35-pound fish. Some people never see a 17-pound fish. So.
That's right.
And yes, Team Jesus Outdoors. That is Del Hollow Lake. I grew up on the Tennessee side of Del Hollow Lake. The world record has been held on the Kentucky side for years and years. A lot of Tennesseans will argue that he was on the Tennessee side and he walked into Kentucky because, he was a Kentucky resident. But I think they just say that because they want the world record.
Everybody's going to argue. It has to argue about something.
Yeah.
Let's see. Make sure I'm caught up on the chat. Yeah. Okay. So I've got a picture up of you and your kids right now, and you said you have a trout fishing program in your state, correct?
Yeah, we have a put and take trout program. The local hatcheries and nurseries, they stock some local waterways and streams, rivers, canals, lakes with rainbow brown trout and some brook trout. And also in Pennsylvania, we have what people will refer to as a palomino. It's not actually a palomino. Palominos came out of West Virginia. They were first introduced into Pennsylvania as the West Virginia strand of palominos. But Pennsylvania, some genetic scientists in Pennsylvania figured out a way to make them more yellow, more golden color, giving a broader orange stripe down the side. And the Pennsylvania version of it is called a golden rainbow. And my buddy calls them a lottery ticket for the taxidermist.
Yeah, that would be something.
They are. They're very pretty. I've actually never caught one. I haven't caught a golden yet.
Big Fish wants to know, do you have salmon there?
No, not that I know of. There's no salmon in Pennsylvania.
We actually have a similar trout program here where we have a fish hatchery about an hour and a half from my house, I want to say, and I get to go up there fairly often, a couple of times a year, and we have a lot of fun. Not only visiting the hatchery, but then going down the stream and under the bridges and finding the trout, and it's a lot of fun. I'm not sure if y'all have an active hatchery that you can visit and stuff like that. It's pretty cool, in my opinion. I mean, especially if you've never been to one. I know every time that we go, I always if I'm taking someone, I make a point that I visit it. So, only thing got out of it was a taxidermy bill.
I told you. He calls them a lottery ticket for the taxidermist.
Yep. Let's see. There's salmon up in Lake Erie and the tribes.
I've not fished Lake Erie. I don't get that permit. I live on the other side, so Ron's a little older than me, so he's, his kids are grown and gone. He's got time to get out and about more. So
I hear you. Get stuck in here. What would you consider a good starter combo for those that are just getting into fishing, or for those that are wanting to take their maybe a little bit older kids out fishing and trying to get them more serious into it?
Well, I guess it depends on what you're going after. But like I said, the good starter combo is the one you can afford, the one that gets your kids out there. And if that's a $10 startup kit and that's what you can afford, then, if you're going to spend money on something, I would suggest that you spend money on hooks and line. That's what's connected to the fish. But for kids especially, all of us at one time are going to be talked into these cartoon rods. Avoid them at all costs if you can, unless it's, that $9.99 is just worth your sanity for the kid in the store. But because they're junk. They're really disposable, the rods and reels. If you're going to do that, if your kid just insists on a short rod, the Zepco Dock Demon, I guess, would be the best of the toy rods.
Yeah.
Other than the Doc Demon, though, I would probably avoid Zebco at all cost, except maybe the 33. I mean, Zebco seems, I don't mean to knock them, but Zebco seems that they really figured one thing out well, the 33 years ago, and they just haven't bothered figuring anything else out since. But on the market right now, if you want to go a little higher end, I would say, like I said, I use a Mitchell Advent. It's a $30 combo. Buddy's got a Fluger. They're reasonably affordable. They're a good rod and reel. Abu Garcia is not what they used to be years ago, but that Black Max series at their price point, that's a good bass rod right now. And for catfishing, something sturdier, from what I've seen, it's pretty hard to beat the Shakespeare Ugly Stick GX2 series. And if you want to go into your name brands or your baitcasters or whatever, I would probably say Lews right now has the best baitcasting combo around that $100 price point.
I like Ardent also. They've got a really good baitcaster around that price point as well, and it's super smooth. But I know for me, I've been buying. I've actually got 2 or 3 now from Academy. I got one the other day for $4. It was a Tournament Choice Classic Edition spin rod. Picked it up for $4. I've caught probably 10 fish on it already. That's hard to beat. $4 for a rod. That's that's unheard of.
Yeah.
Let's see. Irvin said something. There was a fish hatchery 10 to 15 minutes from my house in South Carolina. The one I'm talking about, Irvin, is up past Pickens, South Carolina. It might actually be in Pickens County. Ardent has a great range, yes. They have some great reels. I've never tried the rods that they have through their company, but Ardent has, realistic. I'm gonna have to argue with you on that one. I think you're jealous that I found a $4 rod. I think that's what it is.
I caught fish on a bamboo pole.
You know what? I bet what it is Alex isn't talking right now. It's really Bro Manson that's talking right now. I bet that's what it is. I still use my old Zebco 33 for bait fishing. That's all my sister will use is a Zebco 33.
You know what? That's my grandparents. Growing up, all my grandfather ever used was a Zebco 33, and to this day, I have never outfished the man. Maybe that's just how I choose to remember him, but
Yeah. I pick with my sister a good bit because I usually outfish her. But that's mostly because I fish more than her, and the area that we fish, I still fish more than her, so I know what the fish are going to hit on and things like that. But I like to blame her Zebco for it, and she'll be over there just flailing her rod around, getting ticked off. It's pretty funny. I've got a couple of videos of it. It's pretty good. Didn't know where it's Walhalla. I just looked it up. It's the Walhalla Fish Hatchery in South Carolina. Realistic can catch a fish on a chopstick. Hey, there's you a challenge, Alex. Catch a fish on a chopstick. You like those challenges from subscribers. There you go. Zebcos, I had one for about 20 years. Yeah, for whatever reason, people grew up on Zebcos, and I don't think they're ever going to go anywhere. They're always going to be around.
The 33, they are the granddaddy of them all, but I don't know, it's like they haven't put a lot of thought in their research and development since the 33.
Let's see. Cores is a Zebco, yeah. A lot of folks use them. They do. Like I said, I've been using the from Academy, that tournament choice. I think their baitcasters are like $15 for their rods, and I've got an Ardent Reel paired up with them, and that's not a bang for your buck reel on some of them. Some of them you get a pretty good deal.
Quantum is not a Zepco realistic. Quantum's owned by Berkeley.
There you go. Is it? I didn't know that. So yeah. What's everyone else? What do you consider? I'll ask the chat. What do you consider a bang for your buck fishing combo? What's the price point you would set that at for a good fishing combo for someone that's interested in getting really into fishing? What would you set a price point at for that? Because a lot of you out there do the blue collar fishing and stuff like that. Let's see. Now we'll go to my next question.
You asked me about the price point?
Yeah, I asked everybody in the chat, but you too. Go ahead.
You see a lot of $50 challenges. I think if you're just starting, you know, you want to be interested in fishing, I'd probably set about a $50 budget. I mean, you might go out and hate it. If you want to go out, if you go out and hate it, do you really want to have a $200, $300 combo?
Yeah. There's a wide range of folks in here talking. So there's $25, $100, $20, $50, $60, $150.
You know, my price point is, again, it's the one that works for you, really. I mean, if it's $10, that's all you got, and you want to get out there, go spend $10.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't even have that, see if you can find somebody who can't go fish anymore and they have some equipment they want to give somebody.
I still own many quality Shakespeare combos from Walmart that rock. Yeah.
Several minor Shakespeare combos from Walmart.
Yep. I've got several sitting over there. Almost all my two-piece combos are Shakespeare. Just because you get a $200 rod doesn't mean you're gonna catch a lunker. You're absolutely right.
That's true.
Some of them nice Abu for $60 at Walmart. Game warden was at the lake I go to in my hometown a couple of years ago. Shocking to get bass and some others from Cabela's and Fort Mill, South Carolina. Interesting. Let's see. I'm willing to pay big for a combo for certain tactics. That's another thing, and I think that's as you get more in depth in fishing, you learn more about what you actually want. So you do a lot of finesse fishing, correct?
Most of my fishing is finesse fishing. That's not because I somehow wanted to become a finesse fishing master. That was by necessity.
That's a good point. The Wyatt Life said a $300 rod breaks in a tailgate just the same as a $20 rod.
That is your number one nemesis, is the car door.
I do have a piece of wood here. I've never done that. And
I have, but I'll knock for you too.
That's something that I see all the time, and I'm just like, it makes me nervous even when I'm getting my rods out. I've got a special spot on my car where I set them all up. Before I close any doors, I'm grabbing all of them and easing them back. If
you've seen the GX2 challenges that are on TV, those things are pretty much indestructible, except the car door. That'll get all of them every time.
Yep. Need different rod for different situations, so price might go up. Yeah. So I am using like I said, I've been using Ardent Reels. I'm not on their pro staff or anything like that. I just think that they're a great company and make a good product. Very rarely do I bird nest with other baitcasters, and I think their bolt spin reels are great. So for me, I started out using stuff I found at flea markets, and I think I had a I don't remember what it was. My first baitcaster was terrible. I mean, it was terrible, guys. Every time I cast, it would bird nest. I couldn't figure it out, and that may just be from lack of experience. But I know that I tried someone else's out, and it was so much easier. And so I went from whatever that was to a Abu, like a cheap Abu, and then I did lews for a while. I think I've used strictly lews baitcasters for about a year and a half, and now I'm using Ardent. And I've still got a couple of my lews here, but the two I have here, I actually need to have some work done on them, and they'll be back up and running.
I think the biggest thing is if you're looking for a blue collar budget thing, is realize there's a difference in affordable and cheap. And it's cheap, that's not going to be very blue collar because you're going to end up replacing it all the time. You'll spend twice as much money if you keep buying, cheap disposable stuff. If you were just to go buy, spend $20 more if you're looking to do, there's a big difference in a $20 combo and a $50 combo in quality. So I would set that $50 price point, especially if you think it's something that you're really going to get into. And if if you don't go buy new or you want higher quality and you can't afford it, you can look online, Facebook Marketplace. Everybody's selling stuff these days.
Yep. The funny thing about fishing stuff is they seem to hold their value pretty well a lot of times, depending on where you look. You almost have to go to those wives that are ticked off at their husbands and they're getting rid of all their fishing stuff to find a good deal sometimes. Let's see.
Good night, Realistic. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, see, Alex. Appreciate you stopping by. I agree 100%. Open season. They said that there's bird nests and then there's whoops. I guess we're done for the day. I've had those days myself.
That will also be another advice for especially starting out. Don't start out with a bait caster. You're just going to get frustrated and end up hating it.
Yeah, if you're just starting out,
go spinning gear.
Yeah, start with your spinning gear and work your way up to a bait caster. And when you get that first bait caster, remember that's gonna suck. It's gonna be rough for a little bit, and I cut
a lot of line out.
Yeah, it's something that everybody has to get used to, and it's unique and it has its purpose. For those of you that don't know, this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about a bait caster. It has its purpose, and it's not for everybody. A lot of folks aren't interested in learning to do this and taking the time to learn to do this. I spent a lot of time in the backyard casting and casting and casting. There's also several YouTube videos out there explaining the brakes and the drag and which you should have everything set to and how to start, where you should have it set when you first start out and things like that. And I really recommend looking at those and going over those. Alright, Patriot Catfishers will not be live tonight after the show, just so everybody knows, because of the storms. Don't take a bait caster reel to the lake until you have pitched and cast in the backyard. Yeah, I've spent a ton of time doing that.
I went out this morning. I didn't even pack mine. Like I said, I finesse fish most of the time, and finesse fish you're going to want spinning gear because you're going to be throwing lighter stuff.
Let's see. Yeah. Definitely if you're doing that finesse fishing, it's going to be really light stuff. Most of the time I'm using a bait caster. Every now and again I'm using my spin reels. My setup is 3 bait casters and 2 spin reels. My bolt can pretty much handle anything that my bait caster can. And what I do in that situation is if I'm throwing one thing and it's doing well, like if I swim bait or something like that, and all of a sudden I got a crazy bird nest in it or something crazy, I'll pop the swim bait off and put it on my spin reel till I can find the time to get that baitcaster back in operation. Yeah. So wanted to go over something else tonight because we're dwindling down on time, and that was the Trash Collectors Trash Off Fish On tournament, brought to you through the Drop Hook Fishing app. Their link is in the description below, as always. That will always be there. It's a great app, great way to get involved with other fishing, the rest of the fishing community. It's a lot like Instagram in a way, except it doesn't have any of the crazy analytics that Instagram does have. And it's all fishing community. As of yesterday, we were at 1,400 pounds of trash collected. That is all that was weighed. So that's huge. We have smashed the goal. I have not added up the numbers today. I wanted to wait till everybody got their final numbers in. I know the Wyatt Life went out there today. I think someone else did. So it's going to be close. The first, second, and third place. As of yesterday, it was Scott, Jake, and then Jeremy in first, second, third place. So yeah, 1,400 pounds of trash is amazing. And it's not going to stop here. We're going to be doing this every year. I'll be putting on smaller tournaments as the year goes on, and hopefully I get more and more people involved, and that number grows and grows. I'm going to be keeping up with the totals from when I started, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing this whole tournament grow in the next couple of years. Do you have any questions for me, Blue Collar?
Are you you're going to try to go to the conference this year? You haven't decided yet?
So that is up in the air right this second. I'm waiting on a couple of things to happen. My work schedule is going to be changing, unfortunately. So right now I've been working straight days for a couple of months now, and I'm going to have to go back to night shift, which is going to throw a wrench in a couple of plans. It also means that one Sunday Night Live a month will have to get moved up 2 hours. So no big deal, but that's one show a month that's going to be different. Tiffany said I'm going. She's going to kidnap me. We'll see. It's going to be good either way. I mean, it would be better if I was there, but it's going to be good either way. And I think that there's going to be a lot of folks at it this year. It's already pretty big, and I think it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, I hope that answers your question best I can.
Hey, Lizzie, the conference is the Catfish Conference.
Yeah.
That they have every year. Sarah's been a couple of times.
Yeah, I went last year, and if you don't have a chance, if you've never had a chance to go, it's amazing. You get to go and you get to meet other YouTubers. You get to hang out with some of those big time catfishermen. Even if you're not a catfisherman, I highly recommend going. So up until probably 2 months ago, I didn't have a catfishing video on my channel. But I still went to that conference because I'm a multi-species fisherman, and I really enjoy the catfishing. I just didn't have anything up on my channel yet. It's like rubbing elbows with the big dogs, that's right. And you get to, I mean, not only that, you get to ask them all these questions. And
I like that channel name.
Yeah.
Bottom Dollar Outdoors.
Yeah. I've actually met him at the conference, and we live within like 15 minutes of each other. So,
Cool.
yeah, he's got a super cool channel. He's actually taken me out on his boat once, and hopefully soon him and his wife and I can all go out in our kayaks together since they've got their kayaks now.
Where is the conference at this year?
It is going to be in Kentucky again, in Louisville, at the Kentucky Expo, I believe. Let me get that for you, so I can be more specific. Hang on. Yeah, there it is. So it's going to be February 22nd through the 24th, Friday to Sunday, at the Kentucky Expo Center across the street from the Crown Plaza, at a 70,000 square foot venue, which is much bigger than the last conference. Let's see, and that's all I got for you right now. I'm not sure if the tickets are going to be free again. If they aren't, I don't imagine them being very expensive. So yeah. Any other questions for me?
Are you experiencing any trouble with YouTube with your channel now with the new rules, and you know YouTube keeps moving the goalposts on the smaller creators?
Yeah. You know, last week Joe was on the show and he said something that I completely agree with. I don't trust YouTube. I don't trust that YouTube isn't going to change the goals as soon as you hit that mark. It's their platform. They can do with it what they want. They can take away your rights to do a live stream anytime they want to. They can take away your rights to monetize a video for whatever reason. Just remember, if you are a YouTuber and you're a small YouTuber, remember that it's their platform. It's your content on their platform. They hold, I mean, that's them. There's other, I mean, you could go to Twitch and try and start something, or another streaming platform and try and start something. But as of right now, if you want to make it on YouTube, you got to follow their rules. You need to stay in the green with them. Don't have any strikes, and really make sure you're looking at their guidelines. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. You know, it's tricky, and the way they change their analytics or their algorithms all the time is tricky, and it's always going to change. I don't think it'll ever stay the same. I think they're always going to change something.
Yeah, well, they kind of control the market right now. When you control the market, you make your rules.
That's right. And they have every right to. It's their, like I said, it's their platform.
Yep.
I'm having trouble seeing comments the last 3 times I was live. That happens sometimes, and it's, for whatever reason, it's just, I don't think it's anything on their side. It's just technical issues one way or the other. Let's see. Is there anywhere to park 18-wheeler, and they setting up an area to park for conference? I have no truck stop near there. Irvin, I'll ask Steve Douglas, and when he gets back to me, I will let you know. Yeah, that's I'll ask him, and because he'll definitely know that answer. There is tons of parking, but as for an 18-wheeler, I'm not sure if you have to have some special parking for that or anything like that. I'll let you know. You'll read all the rules. Get that check. Slow and easy wins the race. Yeah, you're right. That's another thing for those that are out there just starting their channel. Don't try and get all those subscribers, you know. I know folks out there that go out there and the only thing they're interested in is getting that 1,000 subscriber mark. It'll come. It will. Focus on your content more than that subscriber number, because without that watch time number, your subscriber number means nothing.
I got some experience with 1 too on that. Like, I understand commenting on videos, but I had a person comment on the video I put up to promote this show tonight. They're like, "Great catch!"
Yeah.
Sitting at my kitchen table. What did I catch? You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, you might want to watch the video next time, man. You know.
Exactly. And peel and drag that's exactly right. You want to grow organically. You want to grow slow and steady. You don't want to have a ton of people hitting your channel because someone subscribed to them, so they're going to subscribe right back. Or you get put on some list. Everybody subscribe to these channels right here. You know, you don't want that. Collaborating is a different thing, but the sub for sub is a no-no. Just remember that. All right. Last minute questions. Any other questions you have for me, Kelly?
No, but I'd like to announce something if you don't mind.
Go ahead. Go for it.
If you come over to my channel, I hope that's allowed. If you come over to my channel and you watch me in the future, we're working on something special with some of the relationships and friendships I've made that have come in here tonight. Lizard King Fishing is actually with quite a few people, and he sent me a bunch of stuff that we're going to give away. We have Mars T's Lures, who's come and joined us. We also have Bounty Hunter Turbo Buzz and some other people we're going to be giving away. You want to pay attention to that. Come over to my channel, pay attention to that. That'll also on budget fishing. You know, if you win a box full of stuff from me, then you know you're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Wolfpack, these people here, they're going to be donating some stuff, t-shirts and stuff. So if you're interested in that, come on over. We'll announce that pretty soon.
Yeah.
And you can pay attention to us on Twitter. And you can go over and follow some of those guys on Twitter. You know, I'll give them a shout out because they've been really helpful and beneficial to me. So.
And his channel is in the description below under co-host. Also, everyone that was in the Catch of the Week segment, their channels are in the description also if you want to check out those that caught those fish. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. We've been on for an hour now, and that's usually when I head out. You want to do your farewells, Kelly?
Sure thing. Hey, I want to thank everybody who came in tonight, asked all your questions. Come over to my channel, check us out. We'll answer any questions you put in the comment box there. I hope you stay here with Sarah. Check out her channel. She's really beneficial to us smaller content creators and even the bigger guys. I think you said Realistic is planning on coming on
eventually. Yeah, he'll.
Marty, I think Marty Zoffinger is going to try to work something out.
Yep.
Those, I mean, I'll be watching.
The Wyatt Life is going to be on next week. I'm excited about that. We're going to be talking about fishing with toddlers and
I'm subscribed to the Wyatt Life.
Yeah.
I'll come check him out.
And how the challenges is of that and what you can do to help taking your kids out fishing with you and getting them outdoors. So yeah, it's gonna be a good show next week too. As always, I'll catch all of you later. Thanks everybody for stopping by for another Sunday Night Live. See ya.